everyone, and welcome to Voices from the Classroom, where we explore real stories from educators shaping young minds. I am your host Subhashee, and today we are diving into an important and thought-provoking topic: teachers' autonomy. How much freedom do teachers actually have in their classrooms? Especially young teachers who have just completed their B.Ed degree and entered the profession full of innovative ideas. Whether you are teaching in India, Finland, Kenya, or Canada, teachers everywhere face a similar question: how much freedom do I really have in my classrooms? Today's episode explored this universal tension between curriculum, mandates, and professional autonomy. To explore this, we have with us Sweta, a young teacher who completed her B.Ed just a year ago and has been teaching in secondary school in Koraput since then. Welcome, Sweta.
I'm really excited to be here.
Sweta, during your B.Ed program, you must have learned about innovative teaching methods, constructivist approaches, activity-based learning, experiential learning, reflective teaching, and so on. When you first entered your classroom, what were your expectations?
Honestly, I was very enthusiastic. During B.Ed, we were taught about learner-centered pedagogy, differentiated instruction, collaborative learning, project-based tasks, and it all sounded so meaningful and transformative. I imagined my classroom would be vibrant, interactive, and discussion-based. I wanted my students to explore concepts rather than just memorize them.
That sounds inspiring, but how close was that imagination to reality?
Not entirely close. While I did try implementing innovative methods, I quickly realized that there are practical constraints like syllabus pressure, fixed lesson plans, time limitations, and exam-oriented expectations.
That's interesting. So, would you say your autonomy is limited?
I would say it's partially limited. For example, I cannot change the prescribed syllabus or the assessment pattern. I have to complete portions within a deadline. Sometimes, even the method of teaching is indirectly controlled. If results are the main focus, then teachers feel pressured to stick to traditional lecture methods because they are considered safe and time efficient. For instance, when I was teaching a grammar unit on tenses, the lesson plan required a lecture and written exercises. I followed that structure, but I asked students to write 5 sentences about what they actually did before coming to school that morning. Suddenly, the classroom became lively. They were correcting each other's sentences, laughing and applying the rules naturally. It took only 10 minutes, but it made the concept stick.
That's a powerful reminder that autonomy is not about abandoning structure, but reshaping it. Sweta, when I speak to teachers from other countries, they often mention similar pressures: standardized testing, parental expectation, accountability frameworks. Do you feel these challenges are uniquely Indian or largely universal?
I think they are largely universal. While contexts may differ, the tension between accountability and creativity exists everywhere. Many education researchers argue that autonomy doesn't mean the absence of structure, but the ability to exercise professional discretion within it. I now see my role in that light. Not completely, I do try to integrate them in small ways. For instance, I may not be able to conduct a full-fledged project every month, but I can include short group discussions, think pair-share activities, or real-life examples. Autonomy, in my experience, it's not about absolute freedom. It's about making creative choices within boundaries.
That's a very balanced perspective. What about student factors? Do they influence your autonomy?
Definitely. Classroom size, students' learning levels, and even parental expectations affect decision making. For example, if your class has 50 students, managing collaborative learning becomes challenging. Also, some parents equate good teaching with strict discipline and heavy homework. So, sometimes innovative practices are misunderstood. Once, when I tried a group discussion instead of written homework, a student asked, "Madam, will this come in the exam?" That question made me pause. I realized students themselves are conditioned to value marks over learning. So, I connected the discussion points directly to the exam question the next day. When they saw the connection, they took this activity seriously.
That's a powerful reminder that autonomy isn't about abandoning structure, but reshaping it. That must be difficult for a young teacher who wants to experiment.
Yes, especially in the first year. As a beginner, you also want to prove yourself, so you hesitate to deviate too much from the established norms. confidence plays a huge role in exercising autonomy.
After 1 year of experience, how do you now view teachers' autonomy?
I have realized that autonomy grows with experience. Initially, I thought autonomy meant doing whatever I wanted in the classroom. Now I understand it is a professional judgment, making informed decisions that benefit students. Even within institutional structures, a reflective teacher can create meaningful learning experiences.
That's insightful. So, would you say the B.Ed program prepares teachers realistically for autonomy?
It prepares us conceptually. It gives us the philosophy and vision of education. But the real negotiation between theory and practice happens inside the classroom. Perhaps teacher education programs could include more discussions on institutional constraints and strategies to work within them.
Before we conclude, what would you say to other young teachers listening today?
I would say don't lose your innovative spirit. Even small changes matter. Try one new method at a time. Reflect on what works. Autonomy is not about rebellion, it's about responsible freedom. And over time, as you build trust with your institution and students, your autonomy naturally expands.
Nicely said, Sweta. Today's conversation reminds us that teacher autonomy is complex. While teacher education programs inspire innovation, real classrooms demand negotiation and adaptation. As you are listening, think about your own context. What boundaries shape your teaching and where do you still find space to innovate? Thank you, Sweta, for your honest experiences.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for tuning into Voices from Classroom. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your fellow educators and continue the conversation on teachers' autonomy. Until next time, keep learning and keep inspired.